Hey, this is Terry Bean, and I missed the record button the first time, but not the second time. Business growth time coming at you right now. As always, with me, Janet E. Johnson, where today the E is going to stand for enjoyment. 'Tis the season.
Enjoy. Yes, it is 'tis the season. Yes, very
Tis
good.
the season.
And you take out the N and, people put EN, you put joy.
Joy. And I like joy. That's like the goal, right? Is to feel as much of that as possible. I was really in the habit of introducing the show before introducing you, and I feel like I just slipped out of that. Which is really, okay. It's cool, right? We like to mix it up. We don't
have to do everything the same all the time,
We don't have
I do have to bring up that it was interesting about your post about that in memories, which FYI I still don't have.
Memories.
I get so frustrated. But you had this 6 years ago that you posted you wanted to start a show.
6 years ago. Today
That's
I wrote
crazy.
that. Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
So and so here we are, like almost 2 years into this one. This is pretty wild. So that's kind of fun, and it is. It's kind of aligned with what I said I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We don't hit the metaphysicalness of it as much.
No.
But, interestingly enough, I think I'm going to tie some of that into today's program.
Well, there you go. Well, what are we talking about today?
Fun.
On you today.
It's on me today. Hey, so today is going to be the three things, or the three topics, or the three words, or the three something or others, and I'm not even sure what they are, and we'll name it later, but that are going to help propel us in 2017. There's three. Right. I got three, right? That I got for sure.
Yeah, we're just near. I'm sure there's 10, but you know what? We're going to narrow it down to 3, right?
We don't have all day, people.
No,
we're busy. We have things. You
guys have things too.
Ernie is busy. Ernie isn't sitting around waiting for 10 things. They want 3. So Chris Brogan, who's a heck of a good guy, huge in social media, has been for a long time. He always talks about 3 words. He has 3 words that he lives by for the year. So at the end of the year, he puts 3 words that he's going to focus on. They're going to be his touch point, his grounding, right? And if it doesn't fall into one of those 3 words, he doesn't do it. And the stronger the words he picks, the better off his results. And he'll be the first one to tell you. So I really like that idea. And so as I was thinking about that and going through what those words might be for me, in that it's not just for me, it's for all of us, I came up with a list of 7 that I think are really, really important. So it'll be curious to see which ones actually make the 3 for this show. I know you can't wait. I can't wait. So let's just use the first one. And the first one I'm going to share is mindfulness, right? Just the idea of knowing what we have to do, because we've all got so much going on. I spent the month of October running around talking to groups of realtors all over the Metro Detroit area, talking about stop telling everyone how busy you are. Right? Because everybody's so busy. We're so busy. Right? And if you're so busy and you're telling people that you're so busy, and especially if you're telling prospects or customers that you're so busy, people start to think, well, how are you going to get the stuff I need you to do done?
How do you have time for me?
You don't have time for me. So stop telling people that. But more importantly about this mindfulness is the idea that we have to know what's really, really important. We have to be clear on what our goals are, what we're trying to achieve, because that allows us to dictate what we need to do next, right? Because ultimately, all the work we do is a progression, right? It's a series of things that builds on top. And me, I don't want to say I'm scatterbrained, because that's not even remotely accurate, but my work is scattered because I go here, I do this, I go over here, I do that, I move this over here. And so there's no sense of logarithmic growth, right? Because I'm all over the map too much.
Mindful can almost be focused in a way if you're mindful to staying on task or something like that.
So right under the word mindful is another word, and right under that word is focus.
Focus.
Right? And it's exactly right.
So true.
That's what drives that focus, right? Those things that we need to play on. And it was funny because when I was putting these words together, I was like, okay, well, I want to do mindful, I want to do priorities, and I want to do connectedness, right? Those are words that matter to me. And then I was like, well, wait a second, I just launched this whole presentation on focus, awareness, communications, and execution. Those are words that are really important too.
They're all important. I agree.
They're all important.
But I do think focus is a big, I mean, it's staying focused. You just said the 3 words. If you come back to those 3 words time and time again and focus and be mindful, I mean, it's all integrated, and stay on task to that goal, you're going to hit that goal.
You're going to hit, you don't have any choice but to hit that goal.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, the analogy I use is a ship, right? A ship will leave port in the south of France, and it'll head to New York City, and it'll leave France, and within a few hours, you won't be able to see shore. And over the next couple of days, that ship will continually move forward, the captain and the crew doing the things they need to do day in and day out, moment in and moment out, to make sure that eventually, all of a sudden, they see shore again. And that shore they see happens to be New York, which is exactly where they were going. 94% of that trip, they have no visual touch point. Right? But they know that if they do the right things in the right order consistently, they're going to get to exactly where they're going every single time. Same thing with this.
I get it. Yeah. I'm in agreement with you. I think those are definitely 2 great things. Focus, mindfulness. All right. What else do we got?
So though you're mindful is one for me, and focus is just like a little sub tier, right? So mindful is certainly one, right? And then the next one is prioritize, right? So prioritizing, just doing the stuff that we need to get done. Because I'll tell you, I know so many people that get uber inundated with this, and I'm showing my mobile phone, right? And we're scrolling through social media, and that's part of why we're all so busy. We're busy like trying to be in virtual places
all over the place,
right? And so we're trying to keep that presence up. And when we prioritize, we know what the actual work looks like and the things that we need to get done and the tasks that need to get accomplished. Hopefully we can mitigate some of that excess time. Alternatively, if you prioritize the right way, you start to realize that you do a bunch of stuff that you don't need to do that you consider work, right? And maybe it allows more time on social media, right? Because we're doing things that aren't generating income, aren't improving our customer relation, aren't moving us closer to our destination, right? And so when we know those priorities, we can really get there. I don't know about faster, but smoother, right? There's a Modern Family episode that I watched the other day, and he said, slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. And if you think about it, right,
who said this? The realtor?
Yeah, exactly. Who else would say that? Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Why can't I think of his name right now? Claire.
I totally know what you're talking about. I'm sure
Haley's dead.
Knows too.
Alex is dead. Everybody. Oh man, I can't think of it. But it's so funny. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast.
And I could just see him saying it.
Yeah, and you could too, and you said it. So that leads me to the next point. All right, so we've got mindful, we've got what's the second one? Priorities and prioritize, right? You making sure that we get those things nailed down. And then ultimately habits, right? Having the right habits. Discipline could be in here really well because discipline really controls those habits.
Yeah.
But I've been coaching a lot of people, and mostly in the real estate space lately. And I've been giving them the thought that they need to figure out who they want to be like 18 months from now, right? I want them to think about their 18-month future self. You know, what kind of income are they making? How many deals are they closing a month? What's their prospecting look like? You know, and silly stuff. Are you going out to dinner more? What are you doing more as a family? You know, how are you celebrating your newfound success? What's that income increase that's happening? And then I want you to think about what habits that person has. What is that person doing on a daily basis to get there? Tony Robbins said it best, that most people overestimate what they can do in a 12-month period and drastically underestimate what they can do in a 10-year period. Right? So we think we can crush it in a year, but we fall totally short in 10 years. So I picked kind of a number out there a little bit farther than a year, just to kind of look at what that person might be doing and then work it backwards from there. What events are they going to? How are they spending time on social media? What's their following look like, right? So when you start thinking about that, you can actually begin over the next few months to develop the habits that that person has, because ultimately that's what success breeds from, is what do you do consistently. That assumes you're in the right lane, right? You're doing the kind of work that not only do you like doing, but people are happy to pay you for it, right? Because without being paid for it, it's just a heck of a hobby.
Well, that's why I need to prioritize what's going to, you know, turn into income and focus on that versus, so that goes back to the priority.
It's 100%, right? And it's that way every time.
You know, you've been talking about, you mentioned think a lot. You know, you need to think about this, but I'm going to add to that. And there are different things for goal setting. And this is an interesting one I just got in the mail.
Okay.
From my new business coach.
Yeah.
And I have barely opened it, but it's pretty cool. Let me show you. If you're listening, I'll have Terry read this out loud.
Get shit done. Be a rebel.
So that's the little thing in here, and it's called the Chief Rebel's Agenda. So it literally has goal setting and all, I mean, weekly planner, the to-dos, the priorities. I mean, it's all what you just discussed is right in this book if you used it.
Must be important. Because I discussed it, and it's in the book, Janet E. Johnson.
I know, isn't that the truth?
Clearly.
So using a tool like something like this, John Lee Dumas has one too. Just, you know, writing it down, I think really makes it happen even more.
Absolutely. And I talk about the idea of the to-do list, and I tell people, forget the to-do list, put it in your calendar. Right? Because so often we have this to-do list, but we don't actually schedule the appropriate amount of time to get it done. Back to that overestimating and underestimating. I am like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, right? And I can knock those things out and it'll be 20 minutes. No, it's never 20 minutes. It's always like 32 minutes. And then
you just record 10 videos and then you forget to turn on your microphone. I
mean, that I haven't done yet. But you know what? I'm sure it'll happen because it's
actually, I didn't forget to turn on the microphone. The battery was dead, to be honest. But.
Oh, so now you feel better about it, right?
Exactly. I feel better about it.
Because it was like that.
Check after video 1 if the sound is working.
Right. Be like, hey, how's this going? I went to Niagara Falls as a 12-year-old boy with my father and stepmother, and we spent the day doing what everybody does at Niagara Falls, taking pictures. And so here, take a picture. Here, hand camera to complete strangers. Will you get our picture? Posing in front of the falls on the Maid of the Mist, whatever.
It was probably before selfies, huh?
It was, yeah. When I was 12, Janet E. Johnson, we didn't have selfies then. We didn't even have a selfie stick. How did we live?
We had Polaroids.
Yeah, that's it.
Polaroids were cool back then.
I wish we had a Polaroid because we would have known that there wasn't film in the camera all day long. It's great times. Great time. Make the same joke all day long. Hey, make sure the lens cap is off. The lens cap wasn't the flipping problem. So anyway, all right. So, you know, I like to give more than I'm expected to. So I want to talk about connectedness real quick.
All right.
So I'll have 4.
Oh, he's always a cheater.
I am. It's not necessarily cheating if you're the one making the rules.
You're giving above and beyond. There's another word for it. I don't know. Oh, not a rule follower.
Not a rule follower. Hey, I'm just being a rebel, Janet Johnson.
Exactly.
I'm just rebelling. So connectedness is like, to me, so important. I did a TED Talk on this idea of the 6 degrees of connectedness. And the connectedness for me was being connected to yourself, really, and understanding who you are, what drives you, what motivates you, what works best for you. Whether it's, are you a morning person? Are you an evening person? When's your highest energy? How do you get in your peak state? And really just dialing into who you are and what you're supposed to do and who you're supposed to be, right? Super important. Being connected to others, having these relationships, building them out, creating new ones, maintaining the ones that you have, shedding the ones that you don't need, right? So sometimes being disconnected to others is a good thing too. All the social media stuff, which leads into technology, right? Having this cell phone and this laptop and the iPad and all the different tools, right? And all the sites and platforms and apps that we run on, being connected to that. Being connected to our planet, recognizing that regardless of what President-elect thinks, climate change is real and it's a problem. And if we don't fix it, we're not going to have something to worry about fixing a few generations down the line. And taking care of that. Being connected to the universe, understanding universal law, metaphysics that I talked about at the beginning of the show, and really being dialed into what your place is, right? And how ultimately we are all part of the same, I think is pretty fun. And then the last one was really what we opened the show with, and it's the idea of being connected to bliss, which is enjoyment or joy. Or just finding your absolute joy so you can know what that looks like and feels like so you can live in it as much as possible. So those are the words, man. And I'm going to pick 3 that I'm going to live by in 2017. And I can tell you that prioritize is going to be one of them. That I know for sure. Mindful will probably make the list. So that third one's open for a little of debate, and I'm looking forward to having that conversation. So we'll revisit this, which we have to revisit yours too.
Words from everybody in Business Growth Time.
Yes, I like it.
So,
I think we'll be doing that sooner than later.
Yes.
So that's the recap, ladies and gentlemen, and Ernie's alike. I'm looking forward to the holiday season. You excited?
Yeah, to be honest, it's a great time for me to get work done because I don't have to. Clients are all taking breaks, so then I can work, and get the other pieces of my business done. So I will be loving, taking a couple of days of Christmas and the holidays, and all my Christmas shopping's done already. Just a matter of knowing if some of the stuff's going to come in the mail soon enough because I waited a little too long, But you know what? I've wrapped pieces of paper many times. It's coming in the mail.
That's awesome. Did you buy anything in a store or was it all online?
No, I did a lot in the store too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and you would think with, the way we are, we'd do more online, but I did both. I did a good mix and probably more even shopping in the stores. But
my wife does a lot online. I think I've bought like 2 things online in my whole life. I never buy things online. No. I don't know why that is.
I get a package a day almost. So.
That's my wife. That's awesome. All right.
Well, I hope Bernie's have enjoyed their holidays because by the time you hear this, it will be January.
It will be January. That's true.
Exactly. Or you might be listening to this even later if you're just going back through the recordings. But we definitely want you to have the best 2017 ever and get that business growing. And if we can be of any help, let us know. And be sure to join our group, which is businessgrowthtime.xyz. And then you can always find past episodes on iTunes or on Stitcher. And we have all of them on businessgrowthtime.com/podcast. Find them there.
Perfect. We'll look forward to communicating with you real soon. Have a great one.
Thanks.